Hi guys,
Welcome back to our channel.
I'm Karen,
I'm Baldeep.
and we're finally going to show you our unfiltered, full, unbiased episode where we delve into a lot of different things.
Mainly, we touch upon the fashion industry and how it is explaining to your parents how you're going to make it an unconventional career.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we talk about our experiences, how we got into fashion, or what inspired us when we were younger, or how did we get to where we are, as well as, being confident in doing something that not many other people are doing, following your own path. Go for it. And just dive right in. We'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments, if you have a similar experience.
We'd love to hear any questions about the industry, if you're trying to get into it, if
there's something specific you want us to talk about, let us know.
Yeah, or if there's anything we can ever help you with, we'd love to help. So just keep on watching.
We're going to be talking about non-traditional career paths, particularly creative industries.
Yeah.
And our own experiences, because we have different stories.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's experiences with this are so different, and it varies so much depending on who your family is, how educated they are. I know that sounds like rude to say, but it really does have like a huge impact on how they perceive what you're doing. And that's like been a problem for me, I think. So yeah, we're just gonna dive right in.
Yeah, we dove. We're in the deep end.
So why don't you start off by like talking about what you're doing right now and like how you got there, kind of.
Okay. So, I do a lot of different things. I'm self-employed, so that means I work for myself primarily as a consultant. I work with a lot of beauty and fashion brands and help them on their social media presence, their branding, marketing, editorial work. I also will do some styling work, and honestly, I'll do anything. So if you have a project, you need someone, I'm here.
Hit her up.
I knew from high school that I wanted to work in fashion, in the creative spaces, and I also knew that I wanted to one day have my own business. And I've just known that. It was... Yeah, you have a different experience because right? Like, I just knew. Like, I knew. There was no way that I was, like, sitting there being like, I want to be a doctor or anything like that. It was just like, this is what I want to do.
So when you were younger and, like, you told your parents this, or did you ever tell your parents this?
I think in high school maybe I did, and they were just like, okay. Like, they didn't really... My parents have always said that they want my sister and I to be happy, that it's ultimately, like, our decision, right? Like, if you're going to spend the rest of your life working, like, do something you like. It's my dad. When I was in high school, like, because I don't have any connections in fashion, we're both first generation, like, we have nothing here. And I took it upon myself to read as much as I could, reading different fashion books, like reading on forums, anything that I could possibly, interviews, whatever it could be, to get as much knowledge as possible so that I could prep myself for success and what I needed to do.
So it wasn't at all controversial in your household that you would want to do something like that?
I mean, it was, because it was like, they were like, what are you going to do? Like, what's that? But I also took ownership and was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it on my own. Like, I understand this is stressful, scary, whatever, but I'm following this path, and I've decided.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about you? I don't know. I went on a tangent there.
Oh, like, great. Now my story sounds dumb. No. So I actually, when I was younger, didn't really know what I wanted to do. I think I wanted to be a lawyer when I was really young.
Same when I was really young.
Yeah.
When I was a baby.
Yeah, when I was really young, I was like, oh, like, I'm so good at arguing. Like, I want to be a lawyer. And my mom was like, yeah, you are really good at arguing. I was like, no. So, and then after that, I was always interested in fashion. Like, I was always like, I think I was mostly always complimented on it. Is that correct?
Compliment on your style?
Yeah. So people would always be like, oh, like, your outfit's great. But, like, I never thought of it as, like,
a career path?
Yeah, I wasn't like, oh, like, I can do something with this. it was really weird. Like, I never thought I was that creative, but my brother is actually the one who pushed me into marketing because he was like, you won't survive in anything else besides being creative. And I was like, okay, I'll listen to you. And I just like applied for marketing, and I ended up at Suffolk for 3 years. I went to Bridgewater for 1. And then I graduated, and I still hadn't done anything in fashion. I interned at like a social media agency, and like I wasn't that into it either. I just don't think I would do social media in general, like as a job.
That's kind of what I do. It's real demanding.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I don't think I personally could handle it because it was like staring at the screen, like finding stats, and like stalking a bunch of like influencers. Like, I worked on the Ritz-Carlton account at this agency, and it was just really intense for me. And it was a lot of like, I had my headphones in and I was just staring at the screen, and I wasn't interacting with anyone, and it was just weird for me.
On the flip side, while I do understand what you're saying, for me, because I do like work for myself, I like have to go meet clients and like have calls and stuff like that. But yeah, it is a lot of, it's very singular work.
Yeah.
But you do have the opportunity, especially like how I do it, because it is just me. Like, I can interact, I can talk to the clients that I work with, and you know, give suggestions.
So after college, I did nothing for a year. I actually,
well, you weren't doing nothing.
I wasn't doing nothing,
yeah.
But like I didn't go get a job, guys. That's what I mean by nothing, because my parents didn't think I was doing anything. So I graduated, and then I got a opportunity to work with a stylist. And at this point, like, I know I'm into fashion. Like, I think I figured it out like my junior year at Suffolk. Like, I used to like sketch little like designs in my notebook and feel like think like, what am I doing? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. So I take this opportunity that came up, and it was interning for free, and I did it for a year. But it was honestly just like the best experience ever. Like, I just learned so much. I realized like this is a whole career. So many brands like need a stylist, and it was just really interesting to like learn a process and like, I guess, come into a world where like it was like, dude, this industry is real and it's cutthroat, and like there's opportunity, but like you need to learn, and like you need to grow your skill set. Can't speak. So then during interning, I was like, okay, like I want to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm applying to Parsons. And when I went,
was that the only school you applied to?
Yeah. It was like, I was like shooting darts like with a blindfold on. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was like, let's just do this. I don't even know. I was so stressed. So I tell my mom, and like, oh man, she was like, no. And I was like, what? And then she was like, yeah. She was like, no, like you can't do that. And I was like, no, like I'm gonna do it. Like, don't tell anyone, but I'm gonna apply. And she just wasn't like for it. But
no,
then she,
because it's fashion, or no, because you'd be moving?
No, because I'd be
doing another year of school.
No, because I'd be moving, and I don't think she realized like
she didn't understand the industry.
I don't think she understands the industry. I don't think a lot of my family does.
Same.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like, what are you going to do now? Like, you think another degree is going to help you kind of thing? And it was kind of like, well, I need to learn.
Yeah.
Because, like, I felt like, because I wasn't always into it from the jump, unlike you, like, you did your research, I didn't have that base, so I felt like I needed to go back to school. So I apply, and I think my dad found out, and he was just like, what the hell are you doing? And everybody wasn't really for it still, and it was a question asked like how it'd be living in New York alone, and like I had lived outside of the house, but it was like only an hour away, and I was home every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then I ended up in fashion. But that being said, everybody thinks I do fashion design and not fashion marketing.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, like, when are you gonna make us some clothes? And it's like, I can't. I don't know how. Didn't learn that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what people think fashion is, like making clothes.
But there's so much more than just that. Like,
yeah, a lot more.
Yeah.
And like, we're still learning. I think the hardest part about getting into this industry was like trying to explain to people what you do. But then once you let go of like people judging you for what you're doing and like questioning you, and you're just doing you, I think you fit into it better yourself too. Like you're just like, no, like I can do this. Like this is real, and if they don't see it, that doesn't matter because it's my reality.
Adding on to that, I also think that when you doubt yourself, other people know. Like maybe if you're trying to tell your parents that you want to work in fashion or be a shoemaker or something, whatever it may be, if you don't say it with conviction, if you doubt yourself, your parents will, or whoever it is that you're talking to, will also like doubt you and question you more.
Right.
Like I know at the times when I felt the most insecure about my work, like my parents can just subconsciously pick up on it.
Yeah.
And then it leads to like conversations and like arguments or whatever.
Yeah, like your self-doubt turns into their doubt, which
Yeah.
they question you, and then you're like questioning yourself more, and you're like, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you're breaking yourself down.
Yeah, you have to like be really confident in the decisions that you're doing or the path that you're on, even though it's not linear. There's lots of ups and downs, and it's really hard, and it can be lonely, especially if like you don't have that many friends who are also in that industry or on that same career path. Like they also don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
So on top of like your parents or your family, then you have like your peer group not knowing what you do, or like I've spoken to people who they're like, wow, I didn't even know you could do that, or I didn't even know that like that existed, or that's what you do. You're the only person I know who does that. And it's just
or sometimes like a lot of people have this weird perception of fashion that it's just so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's not.
Yeah.
Like it's just like any other job. Like if you're a consultant, you go in and fix problems, but like if you're working in fashion, you're literally in any part of the industry, whether in marketing, you're in styling, buying, merchandising, like there are so many obstacles that you need to cross. Like you're building a brand, and all of your actions like have reactions. I don't even know what I just said.
But at the same time, going back with that, I also think what interests me about fashion is not necessarily, it's not the clothes. It's actually like the storytelling that you can do.
I agree.
Like, it's brand building is what I find really fascinating, is to like have an idea, to figure out the different components, to be able to like sell and create, but like where people can like relate to something and identify with it and they want it, or like the kind of person who will always buy a Toyota every single time they need a new car. Like that's a connection that a brand has formed with a consumer, and that's what I find really interesting, especially in the space of fashion. And the way that fashion has changed so much, it talks a lot about what's happening like economically and historically. Like there's so much more depth to it that I don't think people necessarily understand.
I agree. And I guess like another difficult part of like going into fashion was like my brother went to school for engineering, so it was like engineering, check. My sister's a pharmacist, so it's like, oh, doctor, check.
If you were a lawyer though,
I know, they would have been like, yo, our kids. But like then it was like, oh, like Baldeep ki kar diya, like fashion, like itnu job mil gayi, like, and it's like, dude, what?
Yeah.
And it was like I'm still not like when I think I told somebody at the Gurdwara last week or whenever I was back in Boston, I was like, oh yeah, like I got a job, right? Because like I was so like, yeah, got a job, guys. Like now who's gonna say something to me? And they were like, vadiya hoya, degree to bahut job to milni chahiye. And I was like,
I mean, at least I didn't ask you how much you made.
Like, have you ever felt disheartened and been like, wow, like,
oh, all the time. Well, I personally wish that believe I did my undergrad in Boston, and and then after Boston, I graduated, I was looking for jobs, interned a little, traveled a bit, and then moved to New York like about 6 months after graduating, and have been there ever since. And I've really personally wished that I had actually gone to college in New York. I think all through undergrad I interned basically, and I did a lot of different things related to like fashion, PR, whatever. Just I tried to intern every single semester, like to take advantage of anything that I could in Boston related to fashion. And But I still nonetheless came to New York and was like, wow, like I did have such great, amazing experiences, but to some extent within the fashion industry in New York, I still don't have a lot of connections, or like that doesn't mean anything. Like I don't have that one connect to help me or whatever, and I kind of wish that I'd gone to school here because I knew, right, that like I wanted to work in fashion, and in the States, like where are you gonna go? Like New York or LA. And I wish that I had interned here because I think that would have made a huge difference to where I am right now.
I agree with that. I think when they tell you, or when anyone tells you, networking is one of the most important things you can do for yourself in any industry, it truly is. Like having someone to call or ask any questions about your industry, or be like, oh, like I'm out of college, like I need a job. And if you have a really good impression on the person you're networking with or the people you're networking with, you're automatically open to so many more doors and opportunities than if you stay in your shell, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And like honestly, I think that was an issue for me. I feel like when it comes to like school or in the industry, like I'm a little bit introverted, so I had trouble with that. But luckily at my first internship in New York, I ended up staying there, freelancing there, and now getting a full-time job there. And it was really probably because it really wasn't because I was talking a lot, because I didn't talk. I just made sure, this is another thing, when you're an intern, you need to make sure you try your best every single day. Like you need to go above and beyond. It doesn't matter if you're getting paid or not. I mean, you're there to work and learn. So when you put your all into something, it never goes unnoticed. And I remember there were so many days like I would come back and be like, wow, like I just did so much work and like I just don't even know why I'm doing it, because I'm not getting paid and it feels like I'm not being appreciated. Or there would just be some days where it was just like a whatever day and it just felt like, wow, like what am I doing? But I guess I didn't even see that I was making an impact on the people around me, or they even appreciated the work as much as they did, until I got called back and they were like, no, like you've done such a great job, like we feel like we need you here. Mm-hmm. And I think that was when I was like, wow, like it paid off.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in the moment you don't realize and you just feel like low kind of about it.
Okay.
Okay.
So, that was our little chat. I hope you enjoyed.
We hope you enjoyed.
We both do, not just I.
Thank you. We hope you guys enjoyed our first unbiased topic.
We're looking forward to doing a lot more of them. If you guys have anything specific you want us to talk about, or something you want us to delve a little deeper into, whether it's fashion related or not, leave a comment, DM us, email us. I'd say call us, but we didn't give you our phone number.
Not yet. JK.
Yeah, so we want to hear from you guys, whatever your thoughts are. If you guys have had a similar experience or know someone who has, whatever it is, let us know in the comments. Be sure to like, comment,
and subscribe.
Stay tuned until the next video.